Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the first official week of the Platinum Draft League Season 6. We are here to do our very first battle of the new season. We're hoping to have a strong season. I'm hoping that this is going to be the first season that we go positive since way back in Season 3, the first time I ever made a series like this. It's going to be interesting to see because we got a lot of tough opponents, we got a lot of things going on, but hopefully we should be able to do good as long as we plan well, we play well, and we don't make stupid decisions that we're known to make. So, first things first, we have a little cleanup I want to do. There are a few amendments that we made to the team, as you may be able to observe. We changed around two of our team members because I wanted some different team members that I thought would benefit me more and help the team more. So the first team member we added is we traded out our Reggie Drago and we got Appleton instead. So Appleton, he's a bit bulkier of a dragon type. He's also part grass. Gives us some good bulk with some nice recovery. It's a great mon to come in a lot. It's got access to thick fat, which helps it with its ice weakness, and also makes it another fire resist for us, which is very good for us because fire resists are nice to have, especially with a lot of strong fire types. Plus, we can also do some berry shenanigans with Ripen or Gluttony if we really wanted to, so that option's always there. And then the other mon we added to the team is we now have Wigglytuff instead of Ambipom. I wanted to do this trade because I wanted to add a Cleric to the team so we could pass around healing to some of our bulky mons who cannot heal themselves. This helps Klefki a lot, this helps Lando T a lot. It can help Hitmontop a lot. So it does kind of lower our speed tiers a bit. We did drop a base 80 and a base 115 for things that are much slower. But I think that these two will be very helpful for the team. And it seems they're already coming in helpful already because we do have one on this week's squad. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to look at our week 1 opponent, which is Fuzzy and the Crappy Cramorants. They changed their name this season. This is Fuzzy's team. As you can see on the right side of the screen here, we have Garchomp, Raikou, Comfey, Zarude, Colossal, Skuntank, Mega Pidgeot, Celesteela, Deoxys Defense, Sirfetch'd, Lantern, and Pinsir. So this is a very interesting team when you first look at it. It's got some big threats. Garchomp is a huge threat always with its dragon and ground typings just being super hard to counter. Celesteela is a great mon. Beast Boost helps it out. It's super bulky, gets a lot of coverage. Mega Pidgeot with no guard hurricanes is an absolute monster when it comes to just straight offense. And there's a few other notable things in here. Raikou's trouble. Comfey always has priority Draining Kiss and Giga Drains. Sirfetch'd is bulky. He has Deoxys Defense or Colossal for Hazard Stack. So there's a lot in this team that can be sort of said in the positive. So it's going to be interesting to see how we face them week 1. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you what I prepped, what I'm bringing, and sort of what the plan is going into week 1. So we start off, we're going to be having Klefki as the first one here. I actually think I'm going to make you Shiny Klefki. Yeah, because that gold matches your name a lot better. Shout out if you get that name. But yeah, so we have Klefki here as the first member of the team. The reason I put Klefki in as the first member was because I thought this would be a great week for hazard stacking. Because his hazard removal, well, he has a decent chunk of it. A lot of it struggles to run hazard removal on a week-to-week basis. You have things like Mega Pidgeot, which never wants to waste a slot on defog, plus that also means you have to take 25% rocks to remove them. Comfy, which usually likes having other moves instead of Defog. Colossal, which can rapid spin, but is quad weak to ground, so that's always a scary thing to come in on. You have Skuntank, who's another defogger, low tier one that can help out, and you have Surfetch, which has a hard time finding space to throw defog on. So I think with his lack of being able to bring some defog, I think Spike Stacking could be great. Originally I was tempted to run a Rocks instead, mainly for that Mega Pidgeot that, like I said, has to come in, take a quarter from Rocks, but he does have a lot that resists the Rocks, so I think instead of going Rocks and going a Hazard Stack for the things that kind of care less about Rocks, things like the Garchomp, the Surfetched, the Colossal, the Zarude, all those things that just don't want to take a lot of chip and have to come in and take anywhere from 12 to 36% off of my spike chip will be very great. We're also rocking Dazzling Gleam for some good damage, rocking Toxic so we can pass some Toxic around to some of the bulkier members, things like Comfey, things like Lantern, things like Deoxys Defense. And we are also rocking Magnet Rise. This is a bit of an interesting one here with Magnet Rise. So if you don't know what it does, basically when I activate Magnet Rise, it makes the Pokemon it basically gives the Pokemon Levitate for 5 turns. So this will be great for Pokemon like Garchomp and Pokemon like Celesteela, who like to run ground coverage a lot, especially for steel types. There is a chance that they can run fire moves, which is something I have to kind of feel out. If I can see a fire move coming, then I have to make sure that Klefki is not taking that, because Klefki can't really tank like most steel types can, so that's always something to worry about. But if they don't run fire moves, then I can definitely punish them for that. Less so Steela, because it's just so powerful, but I can definitely set spikes up on Steela and then punish something that has to come in next. So yeah, that's a good set. Next up, we are running our Appleton. So Appleton is here to be a nice little bulky boy, some bulky offense. Running Thick Fat for those pesky ice and fire moves. Lefties for passive healing with Apple Acid, Draco Meteor, Leech Seed, and Recover. So Appleton is part of my Celesteela counter plan. If it's not running Air Slash in its move kit, then Appleton can come in. It can take Earthquakes, it can take Steel moves, it can take Fire Flamethrowers. And even though Apple Acid Draco Meteor cannot do a lot, thanks to Apple Acid's secondary ability of always dropping the opponent's special defense, we can eventually chip away, or we can just use Leech Seed to sort of sap away their health very slowly. So the IV set we're running is a bit of an interesting one, or EV set rather, sorry. So with this EV set, I have Celtic specifically for Garchomp. If we are at full, then we should be guaranteed to live either a unboosted Life Orb Dragon Claw or 3-hit Scale Shot. And then we can OHKO back with a Draco Meteor. So if we need a Garchomp kill option, we have one as long as we're at full, which hopefully we should be between lefties, Leech Seed, and Recover. We should be staying nice and healthy for the whole battle. But yeah, so Appleton's going to kind of be sort of hanging out for some of the bigger threats. Obviously, like I said, we have to watch out for Steela with Air Slash. We have to watch out for Mega Pidgeot, because that thing can put a damper on us very quickly. But this is definitely going to be great for doing some grid walling. Walls out a lot of Pokemon and can slowly chip away at their special defense and then just absolutely blast things away with the Draco Meteor. So that's going to be lots of fun. Next up, we have our Galar Slowking. Galar Slowking is here to be our special wall. This is part of the Celesteela plan, and it also helps with Mega Pidgeot. For Mega Pidgeot, I believe we are 3 code by Hurricane. I'm very tempted to swap the Colbur Berry for Vest. The only thing that stops me from swapping to Vest is Surfetch, because a knockoff from Surfetch will absolutely decimate us if we're not running Colbur Berry, so that's very scary. But yeah, we are 3-shot by Pidgeot, but we can 2-shot it with an Ice Beam. For Steela, as long as it doesn't have Earthquake, we should be able to tank, and we can 2-ko with a Flamethrower. Obviously barring any Leech Seed and Lefties healing, but we can still do good. And then Regenerator allows us to pivot out, get 33% of our health back, so we can always come back in healthier than we were before. Always great to have. So yeah, this is going to be our main special wall, kind of hanging out in the back, chipping in what it can chip in, tanking what it can tank, and just kind of being a menace to his team. Because even though his team does not have a lot of special offense, the special offense he does have is a lot of power, so we want to make sure we have something that can check that really well. Next up, we have our Mega Sharpedo. So Mega Sharpedo, we are running Speed Boost, of course, and we're running Crunch, Ice Fang, Earthquake, Protect. What this set is meant to do is, after we get to +1, we outspeed his whole team unless he has either a base 100 Scarfer, above base 100 Scarfer, or he gets a speed boost on one of his Pokemon above base 100. And then with Strong Jaw after Mega and Crunch, Ice Fang, Earthquake, we can OHKO or 2-ko pretty much his whole team. The only things that really threaten us at that point would be Comfey, because of its super useful priority with Triage boosting both Draining Kiss and Giga Drain, so it can always outspeed us. Sorry, I'm clicking through things. I think other exceptions, Celesteela can definitely tank one and does a lot of damage back no matter what set it's running. Lantern is pretty bulky, so that could be a problem. Zarude's pretty bulky, so that could be a problem. It's just a lot of bulk, but like I said, with Spike Chip and getting that +1 speed boost, as long as Comfey's gone and he has no boost, then we can do a lot of damage and get a good late game sweep in if possible. So Sharpedo's definitely going to be chilling in the back, sort of waiting, biding its time to come in and do the job it's here to do, which is just to late game sweep all over Fuzzy, and that's the hopeful plan. Then we have our Rotom Mow. I'm running a Scarf Rotom Mow, of course, because speed is great. Having Volt Switch for pivot is great, especially when the only things that they have are Garchomp and Volt Absorb Lantern to stop us from switching out, and even then, neither of those things want to swap in on a Leaf Storm, which will do like half to them. And even if we trick our Scarfs onto them, they can't do much, especially Chomp, because then it'll have to lock itself into something, so it can't really set up and sweep me late game, so that could also be a strategy. But yeah, I think it's going to mainly be a pivot. We do have Defog, so if we get rid of the Scarf, we can get rid of Hazards, because I do have a bit worry of Hazards. I'm still kind of contemplating this. I'm thinking I might switch it back to Will-O-Wisp, because if I can get a good Willow on a swap in like Zarude or a swap in like Garchomp, then that'll be very good to sort of stunt his physical offense. Would be very, very great. So having that could be good. So I'll definitely go back and review that. This is a long ass team review. Oh my god, I'm just looking at the timer now. And I guess we should quickly move past our final Pokemon, which is our Cinderace. We're actually bringing the T1 power, which is crazy. So Cinderace's main job is to be a physical wall breaker. We obviously have Boots, so we don't have to worry about that hazard chip. Libero, so we can always be changing typings with Pyro Ball, High Jump Kick, Sucker Punch, U-Turn. Just a generally strong physical offense, hits his whole team. We do have Sucker Punch priority in case Pidgeot tries to come in and finish us off. My only worry with this set is Colossal. If Colossal swaps in on a Pyro Ball, then it immediately becomes +6 and it can outspeed us and revenge us pretty easily. So that is something that we have to be careful of, is that we don't accidentally click Pyro Ball and then a nice bulky Colossal comes in and just sort of eats everything. So that's something to definitely be worried about. But yeah, this thing should hopefully tear down a lot of walls, especially things like Celesteela, which we're very worried of, and having Sucker Punch for Pokemon like Mega Pidgeot or possible Scarfers can be very, very good, especially for shutting down his fast offense trying to get an easy revenge kill. But yeah, that's a team. I ate up a lot of time with this team review, so hopefully you guys are still hanging around because we are about to get right into that battle. Okay, so we're here for our week 1 match. We have our opponent Fuzzy is ready. I have the challenge set up. This is the team I want to send in. Have our notes. We have all of our calcs ready, including a few extra calcs because we're being extra safe this season. So let's go ahead. Let's send the challenge. Let's see what's going on. We got the cookie background for good luck. Hopefully the cookie brings us some good luck. If not, we will have to change the cookie. Okay, so here's the team that we're seeing. This is not really the team I was expecting, but there's some here. So obviously, Chomp and Steela are here. Chomp and Steela are here. He brought both Sirfetch'd and Zarude here. So no Mega Pidgeot, no Comfey, no Colossal, and he has Skuntank and Deoxys Defense. Okay. So looking on this team, it looks like Skuntank is going to be his defogger. That seems pretty obvious. So I think my lead might be open up with Cinderace, so that way we can have a fast pivot. Because unless he has a Scarfer on this team, then both Sharpedo, well not Sharpedo because he's adamant, but Cinderace for sure will be faster than his whole team, as long as he doesn't have a Scarf, but could be Scarf Zarude, could be Scarf Chomp, we'll have to wait and see. I do think I go with the Cinderace lead, though. That seems like the best bet. Let's see. If I lead Cinderace, if he brings out the Garchomp set I'm expecting, that's my Cinderace. I can pivot out, do a nice third with a U-turn, and then pivot into something. If he brings in Steela, I can pressure it out with a Fireball for sure and just pivot. I'll make a Pidgeot, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I think we'll lead Cinderace, and we'll see what happens. So he does lead Chomp. This is a bit scary, because I don't know if this is Scarf Chomp or not. I do not know if this is Scarf Chomp, so that is a bit scary. Because let's see, if he has choice Scarf Chomp, he definitely OHKOs us with an Earthquake. So this is a bit scary, and I don't want to lose my Cinderace this early. I think my best swap in here is Mo. If he EQs, then we can avoid it. If he tries to Scale Shot setup, I could possibly trick him, give him a Scarf if he doesn't have one, and then mess up his plans. This still has Will-O-Wisp, but I have Defog now, right? Yeah. We're going to swap right into Rotom. He does go for Rocks. So this is his Rock setup. So I guess this is Roxmon. So it might be defensive, but it could still be offensive, so I want to be careful. Okay, looking at the calcs here, kind of wish I had Willow now, but oh well. A Leaf Storm will do easily over half. He can't really do over half to us. I don't know if I want to trick my Scarf onto him. I could. So let me see. Let me look at a... if you are like a tank set? No. Active Stealth Rock? No. It's hard. It's hard to think. Make sure that's at 100, so we're not one-shotting him absolutely. It's tough. I could Scarf him. I don't know if that really does anything for me though. Do I need the speed? I think that's the question right now. Do I need the speed? Does have fast as Rude, but I don't do much to that. Garchomp again. Steela, I think we're naturally fast. Yeah. I'm gonna trick him. He brings out Deoxys Defense. That's actually perfect. Damn, that's actually pretty nice. So we trick a Scarf onto his Deoxys Defense. So that thing is now scarfed and is kind of struggling. Yeah, that's nice. I think at this point I can freely defog, because I don't think this thing can do anything to me. Deoxys Defense. This has no offense. It could try to Toxic me, which might suck, but I think I defog here. I see what he wants to do. He does teleport, which is fine. Who comes in now? Does he bring back in Chomp? Because now I'm slower. He's thinking. I put him in a bad spot because I put a Scarf onto his Hazard Setter. I tried to get on the other Hazard Setter, but it works in this one. He brings out Zarude. Okay. So Zarude is here. I know Zarude is faster than me. Let's take a look at a possible set just to be sure. Zarude should not be able to OHKO me, but Darkest Lariat will do a hell of a lot. And unfortunately, Colbur Berry will not pop because it is not super effective. That doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It could just U-turn, get a big chunk of damage out there. There's lots of scary things that this thing can do. I think my best bet here... Why are you... There we go. I think my best bet here is to go Klefki. Because I think the only fighting coverage this thing... Or the only coverage this thing gets from me is Stomping Tantrum. Let me double check. Zarude... I'll look up ground moves. Yeah, Stomping Tantrum, Dig, and Mud Shot. It does have some fighting moves, but those are neutral. Dark moves I resist. Grass moves I resist. Yeah, I think I go Klefki here. Goes for a substitute, which is very interesting. This might be sub bulk up. I think this is a sub bulk up set, so that's kind of interesting. So if that's the case, he's going to have limited move slots, so I think my best bet is just to Gleam, because depending on his investment, it should still do a lot. So I'm just going to Gleam, see what happens. He is sub bulk up, so that's fine. We Gleam. Does fade the sub, so we know we're at least doing a quarter. This probably puts him in a bad scenario. He might go for sub again, in which case I think I just want to Gleam, because if I Toxic here and he goes for a sub again, then he just gets another free bulk up, so... I gotta check to make sure he can't just Stomping Tantrum, let's see. So let's see, if he has sub bulk up... Or no, this is sub, sorry. He's gonna have 2 moves. I don't know if he has Grass move. What do you have Grass move for? How much do I take from this is the question. Stomping Tantrum at +1 attack. That is a lot. I'm gonna Magnet Rise. We're gonna be safe. He swaps to Skuntank. Okay. Skuntank swap works. This Skuntank is here now. Like I said, this is probably his hazard removal. So I don't know how defensive it will be, but it probably has Flamethrower, which is why he sent this thing out here. Flamethrower does do a decent chunk to me. I think in this case... It's a tough spot. I think I go Apple here. Apple's pretty bulky. Yeah, I'll go Appleton. He might Toxic here, which would be upsetting, but it's the best we got at the moment. Goes for a plot. Okay, so he's a nasty plot set. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, +2. Oh, Sludge Bomb Oko's me. Oh shit. I don't know what the moveset is. I'm guessing it is including Flamethrower, which sucks. Because that means Klefki can't come in here. I might just have to sack this bad boy off and then hope something else can come in to finish it, because I'm pretty sure Sharpedo should be able to come and finish it. Yeah. So I'm gonna drop an Apple Acid. Dark Pulse. He doesn't have Sludge Bomb. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. He does not have Sludge Bomb, so I'm guessing this is it Nasty Plot and Defog? Okay, well, with him at -1 special defense, how much did we do before? We did about 44. That seems like a lot. Oh, that's his Dark Pulse. We did 21. So, is he minus special defense? Might be mixed. I can't tell what he is, but a Draco Meteor will kill at this range, so I think we just drop a Draco, call it a day. Or we don't. Or we just don't drop a Draco. That also works. That also makes me feel very, very nice, as if we just don't drop a Draco. Okay. So, yeah, now we have to sack Appleton, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I'm sorry, Appleton, but you gotta go. You gots to go, my guy. I apologize. That is pretty damn unfortunate. So who comes in and breaks this thing is the question now. Mega Sharpedo should be able to Oko. But again, that means we have to be Mega, and I don't know if we're ready to sweep yet. Galar King, we do take a Dark Pulse because we're Colbur Berry, but we can't do much in return because we have a not good moveset for this. It might be Cinderace, but we can't OHKO. Clef Key, but we probably died to a Flamethrower. I think we gotta go Mega Sharpedo. I think that's honestly our best bet. So if I stay normal Sharpedo, I do about 89 to 106. So it would be a roll to kill. Plus, if he's timid beyond speed, I think I gotta go for it. Because what would come in to stop me? Probably Surf Edge. This is a tough position we put ourselves in. This is a tough position we find ourselves in. Okay. I do have a gamble, but it's very, very much a gamble. If I bring in Cinderace, I hit him with a high jump kick. We become fighting. Should only take about half from a Dark Pulse and then can kill later. But there's also a chance that we end up crashing in a high jump kick, and then he just kills us anyways, so... But I don't have another plan. I think if he had Sludge Bomb, he would have clicked it on Appleton. So I think this might be our best bet. Like I said, Sharpedo can do it, but then Surfetched is free, Garchomp is faster, Zarude is faster, and it just becomes a problem for us. So I think I've got to go with the Cinderace play. This is going to be very risky. Actually, let me see. If you turn here, what can I pivot into? I might do some pivoting shenanigans. Because if I hit him with a U-turn here, we do a good chunk. Then I bring in the keys. We can tank a Dark Pulse. But then I have to swap again. Ugh. I think we gotta go for the high jump kick gambit. This could very well just end us here. We could just lose to this Skuntank, which is a very high probability, but I just gotta go for it. He swaps into Chomp. We do hit a high jump kick, do a decent chunk. It is Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin, so that is a defensive Chomp. Okay, I don't want to U-turn pivot because that's another double chip we have to take, and I do not want to take that. I'm gonna bring in Rotom. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in Rotom. Okay. Does get a Toxic off, that's fine. What happened last time we were in this scenario? Last time we were in this scenario, he went to Deoxys Defense, but I don't think he's going to do that again. He might go Zarude. That's very likely a probability. I'm just going to Leaf Storm. He does go back in Deoxys Defense. Interesting. We miss a Leaf Storm. Awesome. We're doing great. We're doing God's work. Alright. We are doing great work here. This is going swimmingly. You know, whatever he's got to click, he's got to lock himself in, so He does knock off our Colberberry, which we picked up. That's fine. So he's locked himself into knockoff. So I think in this scenario, I honestly want to bring out Sharpedo. Because even if we're non-Mega Sharpedo, Deoxys defense, if it's running max defense, let's say, a Crunch still does over half, and a knockoff will do barely anything to us. So yeah, I think we just bring in Sharpedo and pressure it out. I'm not megaing yet. I don't want to. I know that. I'm just gonna click Crunch. If I click Crunch, who comes in? Probably Surfetched. I do think Surfetch comes in on the Crunch. Yeah, for sure. I'm still gonna go for it. He has to raw swap, so this is great for us. Yeah, let's just hit him with a Crunch. Drinking some hot chocolate because it's cold out. He actually brings in Zarude. So we are at +1. We know this is a sub bulk up set, so we know it should not be able to outspeed us because it is sub bulk up. So here's the question: if we have Zarude here, sub bulk up, Ice Fang does surprisingly little. Why does Ice Fang do surprisingly little? Again, I could call a Mega, and then we get Strong Jaws, and that would definitely kill. Actually, it won't. What the hell? I'm bringing in the keys. I am bringing in the keys. This is a tight battle, I have to say. This is definitely a tough battle, and it's making me realize that my draft might overall be just as bad as I think it is. So we might be changing after this, but hey, we're making it work. We're making it work. Would this be better if I didn't get flinched on Appleton? Absolutely, because then I could have come in free on Scarf Deoxy and recovered and would have been back at full health to be in the fight. Power Whip, we tank those. Nice. So I'm guessing he has Power Whip Lariat. I'm guessing this is his set here. I'm guessing this is his set. Power Whip Lariat sub bulk up. So I think I just Gleam here. I think we honestly just Gleam here. It does go back into Skuntank. I know it's gonna plot again. I know it does. I know it will. I know it will. So this is the perfect Cinderace swapping, I think. So I'm gonna do it. I'm being risky, but yeah, he's going for plot again. This thing's only job is here to set up, so depending on investment, it will be a range to kill. He's at 82, so it's gonna be a chance to Oko here. So we're playing risky. He could also just go back into Garchomp, but at that point Garchomp is super weak, so I'm just hitting it. I'm just hitting it. He's contemplating whether or not he should go back into Chomp. Would be a good play, but his Chomp would also be very, very weak, so... Do hit the jump kick. Oh, we low roll, but we resist, so we're fine. We resist, so we're fine. Does swap into Chomp, unfortunately. We take a lot. This is a bit of a sticky scenario. I'm bringing in Mo. I'm bringing in the Mo. I should have known he wouldn't stay in there, but better be safe than sorry. That thing is basically dead the next time it comes in anyways, so... let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and click Leaf Storm. This thing knows it's fast. Actually, it depends. Not Skuntank. Garchomp. If it's a tank set, depends on what kind of investment it has. Actually, I don't know. We are not Scarf. I remove the Scarf. If it's running less than 120 speed, we are still faster than it, so I'm clicking Leaf Storm. Does bring out Deoxys defense once again, taking big chunks. So we are slowly whittling that boy down. And now I'm bringing out Klefki. He does not have a Skuntank to swap into anymore, so he probably comes out to Garchomp. But actually, Garchomp might not have EQ, so it might come down to Steela or Surfetch'd. If Garchomp only has EQ, he knows I have Magnet Rise, so I can avoid it. So it might come down to Steela or Surfetch'd, actually. No, I did not want to open the snipping tool. He brings out Skuntank. Interesting pick. I know Gleam is a kill from here. And I know that unboosted Flamethrower is not a kill on me. So I think we just click it. Yeah, I'm just gonna click Gleam. Unboosted Flamethrower, we are fine. We take a burn, of course we do. And then we get the kill. Alright. I'll take a 10% burn, whatever. So that is one down. He no longer has a defogger, so I want to try and get spikes up now as soon as possible. So I'm kind of hoping Zarude or Chomp comes back in. If Zarude, Chomp, or Deoxys, any of them come back in. Nope, it's Steela. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. I actually kind of want a clean swap in the Cinderace, so I think I might just set up the spikes. He could. Is he a setup set? This might be a setup set. Is this an autonomized sweeper? It could be. If so, that would be very, very bad. We'll see. I'm gonna set up spikes. It sure is an autonomized sweeper. I'm gonna set up another layer of spikes. Yep. Although that is pretty nice. Okay. We go down, but I think this is where we come in with Slowking. If he has Earthquake, it's gonna hurt, but it shouldn't 2-ko us, and we can still 2-ko it back, so. Eekum bokum. Let's hit that Flamin' Warfare. If we need to, we can always bring in Rotom as a sack. I think he might have realized that he went for the setup too early when I still had this absolute unit in the back. It was definitely a special defensive wall. And he no longer has a defogger, and we have 2 layers of spikes up, so this is honestly best case scenario for us. We tank. Ooh, nice 50%. He's comboing me or anything, so yeah. So it doesn't look like he has Earthquake, so we should be able to live that, and we should kill on the next Flamethrower, so I'm just gonna go for it. Like I said, if we need to, we can bring in Rotom as a quick sack, and then bring this thing back in. Yeah, I just need Surfetch to be gone, and then I can set up Fleet with Sharpedo. Oh my goodness, it happened. Okay, it happened. Sorry Rotom, you gotta go. Okay. Now I just need it to not happen again. Just need it to not happen again. Oh no, he kills with Flash Cannon. Oh my god, he got a high roll Flash Cannon. He got a high roll Flash Cannon, and that's it. That's the game. That's the game, unless I can somehow kill with the Sucker Punch, but it seems very unlikely. Nope. Yep, that's a win. We got high rolled by a Flash Cannon, and that's just it. I'm getting 5-0'd week 1. Unless, there might still be a chance we can save ourselves a bit. If I look at Sharpedo, assuming this set, +2, +1 does outspeed, actually might be safe. Okay, so we don't get 5-0'd, but it's still gonna be a 4-0 because he brings in, yeah, he brings in Surfetch, and we lose. So yeah, we just lose. First impression, out goes. Yep. And the crit to top off that terrible cake we just got served. Oh brother. Oh brother. Damn it. You just fought really well that match, I have to say. You played really well.
You played well too. I was very nervous about, like, you know, there's just like a roster of 12 Pokemon you have to worry about. Only 6 will come. It's just like stresses me out.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky.
Yeah.
So what were you kind of thinking going into this match? What were the things that you were looking at that you were worried were going to be threats?
What I thought would be threat. Let me pull up your roster. Definitely Lando. I mean, it makes sense he didn't bring it because Celesteela kind of sets up on it. But I played a Scarf Landorus once, and it just like bopped through my team. And I was just like, oh god, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
I just like, because Zarude is a good like Earthquake switch in, but then it's quad weak to U-turn, so it's just like, even
yeah.
if you weren't scarfed or whatever, it still felt like it could do a ton of damage. So
Yeah, Lando was just an awkward mon this week. You had a lot of Pokemon that wanted to switch into EQs, and since you also had a lot of speed, I would feel the need to go Scarf, and I can't risk all that EQ swappage.
yeah. Yeah, I was so worried about Landers, I kind of forgot about, stuff like Mega Sharpedo and Rotom-Mow and stuff like that. And I just like,
I mean, you still
just,
prep well for those. As long as you kept that Surf Etch in the back, I couldn't do anything with Mega Sharpedo, which you did. You kept that way in the back until the first
yeah, I
time it
was
hit the
like,
field.
well, I thought Surfetch, just went in because like there's never a switch in for Surfetch.
No,
Like,
you can't
yeah,
find a switch in the Surf Etch.
the extremely bulky Ghost type and Corsola, yeah, but I have Scrappy. And
You
I have
you
knockoff,
you also have
it's just like,
knockoff. Yeah, knockoff is
yeah.
very scary on that mon.
It's just like I love Surfetch so much. Yeah,
Nice.
I felt like, with Zarude being dark type and it could set up on stuff like Corsola, which of course you didn't bring, and possibly Mega Sharpedo, depending on your sets. Felt like I could set up there.
Mm-hmm.
Skuntank, I felt like I could set up on Klefki.
Mm-hmm.
I had felt like I had set up options, and it felt nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you definitely prepped well. I'm a little surprised the Mega Pidgeot didn't come this week. I felt like it would do some good stuff this week.
I didn't put a single thought into that. I was so focused on like Zarude and Skuntank and all that stuff. To be honest, Mega Pidgeot got just there because we have to have a Mega.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really like planning on anything with it, but I mean, I suppose if I take a second look at the roster, I'm sure it might have done well.
Yeah, I mean, you still did well with the team you brought.
Yeah, appreciate it. As did you. I'm so scared of everyone.
Yeah.
What was Appleton for? I was kind of surprised by that.
Appleton was partially there in case you were Celesteela, but you didn't have Air Slash. But since you had Air Slash, that was kind of pointless. Okay. Also, if you brought Super Offensive Chomp, I could take a Dragon move and then Oko you back with a Draco Meteor, so that was a possibility.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense to like eat up the leech sheets that Celesteela wants.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
Eat up leech seeds, eat up flamethrowers.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah, I didn't even toy with the idea of bringing an offensive Garchomp. I wanted to chip down that Cinderace so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah, that was a good matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that you have put together a pretty solid team for this season.
It's all about just picking the best mon available.
There you go.
It worked out so well for me in the past.
Mm-hmm. You have any sort of Pokemon you're excited to use? Anyone you're feeling very anxious to get on the field?
I have wanted to use Garchomp for a while. So that was, round one. I looked at that and I was just like, let's go, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I brought some familiar faces with Comfey, Zarude, Surfetched, Raikou, Colossal. That looks pretty fun. But a mix of new stuff and a mix of familiar faces. So I think we'll do pretty good this season.
Yeah, no, definitely. You have, like I said, you put together a strong team and you're definitely prepping well. So good for you.
Thank you.
Did you have any other questions for me besides the Lando question?
That must have been Boots Cinderace, huh?
Yeah, it was Boots Cinderace.
Oh, right, you gave me the team. I didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was worried about Klefki being Thunder Wave against Celesteela.
I was thinking about it, but I also kind of wanted Toxic for some of your bulkier mons, like Surfetched and like Garchomp, but I ended up clicking it once, so...
Right. Yeah, I definitely figured Magnet Rise was coming. Just the wall Garchomp.
Yeah.
That's a good bring. Oh, okay. Yeah, that Scarf Rotom I was so upset when you tricked that on me.
Well, because I was honestly trying to get on Chomp because I figured you were defensive Chomp and you wouldn't appreciate it, and then you brought in your other setup on, so I'm like, this works. I'm surprised you didn't bring any spike stacking on the Deoxys.
Yeah, I really thought about it. That Icy Wind, I had Recover, Teleport, Knockoff. Those were, you know, my solid choices. Icy Wind was kind of just there, because I mean, like, Mega Sharpedo really sets up on that thing, and I was just like, I should probably have something for that, and I just decided not to do that. Apparently.
I mean, you have speed drops, but I don't think that helps you much.
Yeah, it doesn't help against. I don't know why I did that against Mega Sharpedo. Like, it literally just sets up on it. And I was just like, as soon as you came in on, and I forgot I was Scarf. You know? And so I was just like, oh wow, I'm locked into knockoff against Mega Sharpedo. Like, this is just terrible. But it worked out.
It did work out.
Yeah. Actually, that Scarf kind of helped since at the time you couldn't outspeed my Celesteela with Scarf Rotom because you didn't have it.
Yeah.
Kind of worked out. But yeah, it looks like a good team.
Thanks. You put together a pretty good team yourself.
Appreciate it.
Alright, I'm gonna let you go now. Hope you do good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, best of luck to you, man. I'm excited to see what you're gonna do. Excited to look at the videos and such.
I appreciate it. I'm probably gonna end up changing this team because there's some things on the team I want to change because, like you said, my team is very slow and that's becoming a problem very quickly. So we'll see. We might play around with it.
Yeah, fast teams are always nice, but you could always run like Trick Room or something. I think Slow King gets Trick Room, right?
It should, yeah. So that could be a possibility.
Like running like the more unique sets to throw people off guard.
Yeah, I gotta start being creative. Alright, yeah. It was a great match. And yeah, best of luck for future matches.
Alright. Toodaloo.
Take care. Alright, so that was Fuzzy. Make sure I recorded all that. I did. Good to know. So yeah, kind of an unfortunate loss for our week 1 match. We ended up going 4-0. So kind of a big loss, but Fuzzy does have a very threatening and very scary team. So we'll see. Like I said, I plan on possibly making changes to the team, probably getting some more balance, getting some more speed, making it so that I don't have so many common weaknesses. But yeah, next week we go up against the Quirky Quagsires, who have not fought their week 1 match yet, because this is going to be 2 weeks, so you probably won't end up seeing this until the 4th or 5th, which is next weekend. But yeah, looking at the Quirky Quagsires, they have a pretty interesting team. It's a very bulky team, as you can see. They have a lot of bulky Pokemon here. You have Pokemon like Goodra, Mega Steelix, Blissey, Tangrowth. There's a lot of bulk on this team, as well as Pokemon like Mew and things like also Blissey to do some little setup. But I think we can find ways around some of these Pokemon. I have some plans for cracking down some of these walls that we can sort of implement. But yeah. We got to an unfortunate start, but I do plan on picking myself up and keep moving on, because we never give up, because we never know what can happen. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be watching this, and good night.